Hello friends, today we will discuss about how rockets are launched. Basically, we will discuss this thing, that is how rockets are launched in space. So this is the animated video of launching of rocket. So let us discuss the basic construction of a rocket. Now this is the construction diagram of a rocket. Now here you can see that there is a payload, there is a fuel, oxidizer, pumps, combustion chamber, nozzle and exhaust. And this is about the liquid rocket engine. In the solid rocket engine, the fuel will be in the solid form. So let us discuss about all these components one by one. The first component, here you can see that it is fuel. Fuel like alcohol, hydrazine, liquid hydrogen, oxidizer like nitric acid, liquefied gases such as oxygen, fluorine, etc. Now this mixture of fuel and oxidizer is known as propellant, because due to this mixture the rocket will be propelled. The rocket will be propelled. Propelled means it will be launched in the space. So the next one is pumps. The pumps will help the propellant to go to the combustion chamber, because from here the fuel and from here the oxidizer, the fuel will go through this line here and oxidizer will go through this pipe or line through here and pump. These pump will move the mixture of fuel and oxidizer in the combustion chamber. Now what will the combustion chamber do? The combustion chamber is a space where fuel and oxidizer burn with the help of igniter. Now here, with the help of a spark, very high voltage spark, the fuel and oxidizer will burn with the help of igniter. This is the function of combustion chamber. Now next is nozzle. Now we have nozzle. You can here see that nozzle is of shape of converging and diverging shape. Converging shape and diverging shape to convert heat energy to kinetic energy, because from this small shape very high amount of heat energy will be converted into electrical energy due to the burning of the fuel. Now kinetic energy basically means velocity, because this is half mv square. Now exhaust gases very fast, because due to this burning of fuel there will be release of gases, exhaust gases, smoke. Okay, and the one of the most important part of this rocket is payload. Now what is the meaning of payload? Now what is the function of rocket? It is the carrying capacity. Payload is the carrying capacity of the rocket. Like satellite, rocket can release a satellite. A rocket can release spacecraft carrying humans and animals, or maybe a space probe. So payload is placed here. So rocket can release a satellite, rocket can carry the spacecraft carrying humans and animals, or maybe a space probe. So this is the basic construction outline. That is, we have payload, we have fuel, oxidizer. Fuel and oxidizer will move through these pipes and will go towards the pump, and pump will move this to the combustion chamber. Here the fuel will burn with the help of oxidizer, and through the nozzle very fast gases are released. How much fast, we will discuss later on. So basically friends, what is a function? Now what we will discuss about the working of uh, the rocket. Now you must have seen the balloon. Now if we will inflate the balloon with air, then after that if we will release the balloon, what will happen? Now please tell me what will happen. Now air will air will move downwards, balloon will move upwards. Now this movement of air is the action, and this movement of balloon is the reaction. Okay, now this is basically Newton's third law, which states that for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. This is the law behind how rockets work. Now we will discuss how does a rocket lift off. Okay, so how does a rocket lift off? Now this is the again a diagram of a rocket. This is exhaust gases, that is action, and for every action there will be equal and opposite reaction. This upward reaction is known as thrust. This upward reaction is known as thrust. Okay, so rocket will move due to action. Action means release of gases, and due to this very fast release of gases there will be reaction, that is thrust. Now let us watch real the real the real launch of rocket. Now here you can see that the rocket is placed in a launch pad, and from this launch pad the rocket will be launched. Now the rocket will be launched with the help of very fast exhaust gases. Here you can see. Now this is the action, and this is the reaction. This is the reaction by the exhaust gases to the rocket. This is known as thrust, and here the rocket goes. Okay, now the exhaust pushes out of a rocket's engine down towards the ground. This is action force. Due to it, the rocket starts moving in the opposite direction. This is the reaction force, that is the thrust. Now direction of rocket. Now here you can see that Earth's gravity is still pulling down on the rocket after its launch. Now thrust pushing the rocket must be greater than the force of gravity pulling down the rocket down. The earth gravity is always pulling down the rocket down. So the thrust must be greater than this gravity. That only then the rocket will remain in the space. Okay, will move only then. So here is a very important term that is known as gravity turn. Now what is basically gravity turn? A rocket needs to speed up to at least approximately 28,500 km per hour and fly above most of the atmosphere in a curved path around Earth. This is known as gravity turn, so that it won't be pulled back down to the ground. Now here let us try to understand this is the role of gravity and gravity turn. Now this is Earth, and from here the rocket is launched, and outside the Earth there is atmosphere. There are atmospheric layers, and gravity is always pulling down the rocket towards the Earth. Okay, that is acceleration due to gravity. Now rocket needs to turn like this, so that to minimize the effect of gravity. Now this is known as gravity turn. So it won't be pulled back down to the ground. This is due to the gravity turn. Okay, gravity turn. Now the thrust should be more than the gravity, and rocket should be turned so that there will be minimum effect of gravity. This is known as gravity turn. Now, how a satellite launched and orbit Earth? When rocket gets to a specific distance from Earth, it will release a satellite, that is payload. Now, how a satellite is launched and how it stays in orbit, that we will discuss in the next video lecture in detail. So till then, thank you. Thanks a lot.